Everybody stop what they are doing right now.
My mission is simple: to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now.
35.
Hey, I'm Kramer. Welcome to Mad
Catch 'em
Money.
both.
Welcome to Kramerica. Other people want to make friends? I'm just trying to
And
make you
Elon
smart.
stuff right
My
here.
job is not just to entertain you, but to educate and teach you. So call me at
What's in the
1-800-743-CBC.
box? What's in the
or
box?
tweet me
Wait
at
function.
Kramer.
Wait
At the
function
end
in
of
the
a
box.
completely crazy week, a day where the Dow ultimately dipped 21 points, S&P gained 0.52%,
I'm
Nasdaq jumped 1.58%. We
Go on,
need to
Jim.
talk about today's red-hot employment. There was only one word for it, and it was horrific. Yep, when the Fed starts tightening, we enter the bizarro world, where good is bad and bad is good. Today's terrific jobs report means that the Fed has to
And if
raise
you knew what
rates,
you were
maybe
doing, that would be
quickly.
good.
The Wall Street playbook says you should be selling a whole host of stocks in this kind of news. But that didn't happen today. And I wonder if it's because maybe we've already sold off in anticipation of a series of rate hikes. And maybe we're getting a
So
little
again,
immunized.
I was gonna,
We
we
already
can't
knew the
use it
economy was
this out
overheated
and
that
then
the Fed would
follow
have to
this
raise
up by
rates.
the law.
But we didn't expect
It's
that strong
A,
unemployment number.
if you
So we
don't know
could
what you're
actually take
doing
some
good
time
enough to
smell
get
the
there,
roses,
it's good to
roses
have a
like
teacher to
Amazon,
figure out
which people
tricks.
bought at all costs.
And at
Same
least
way
you're
they
getting
sold
numbers.
Facebook at all costs
Again,
yesterday,
that'll
because we have
affect
a little
certain
window
things
before the
about that
Fed
weather
can move.
forecast just a
Now, when
second
you see a
ago.
gargantuan
LiDAR,
stock like
radar,
Amazon up 13.5%
0 to
in
1.
a day, you need to be thinking of it like an IPO. Brokers are fighting to get their hands on a fixed
You have to
quantity
think about
of
it like,
stock in the
I
end.
cut it out in the
And they're
stone
just
mill guy. I'm going to tell him to
few
go here,
sellers
my guy,
and
because
so
I
many
can
large
check that
buyers.
information.
When
I
Amazon
can
broke
check his
out above
timelines, where he got his
3,100, I said
sources,
it could rally
while I'm
easily
running
another
out in the
100
mill,
points.
right?
Turns out we already got halfway
And
there
you
by
would
the
want that
close.
system
I
set
knew
up
this
like
would
that
happen
as an
because institutional buyers
autonomous
lose all discipline in
bandwidth.
moments like
It's
this.
like,
They
you're
want the
out
stock
of
so
that,
desperately
you're
they
in
just
that,
stop being
and that's
sensitive
good
to
gravity.
price.
Why is that
We got
good?
the
Because
same
that
thing after
classes
hours
you.
when
That makes you an
Peloton
asset
spiked.
manager.
After we heard
That
some chatter that
makes it
Amazon might be
so I
considering
can
a
keep you
takeover
off
bid
the
among
small
others.
caps
There's no price they won't
for
stop
running
buying it.
stuff,
We saw the
because
flip
the
side of that
metrics don't
yesterday
work
with
for
Meta
those types
Facebook.
of weights and plates,
Yesterday
unless
went
they're
down to
necessary by
250. Okay,
diagrams.
already big
Which
decline.
at
I know
your
there were
place,
accounts willing to dump it as low as 237.
the problem with it is
That's
nobody
incredible.
knows where the top
But their
is.
binds were
And
already
nobody really
made up.
knows what
They didn't
somebody's
care
going to
what
put
price
into
they
it,
got.
why they're going to
You
put
care.
into it,
I
and it
care.
all ties
They
into
did.
this Fed
Once a week.
mess.
It means we have to be very
Teachers,
careful about high-flying stocks.
at the
We should
moment,
measure
duality,
anti-trends.
0,
Because if
1.
they go bad, it's
Just
P
like you'll get from
or
everybody,
door. And
every
there's only
single
been a
one of
couple
them across
that
the
we'll get all of
eschatology,
them later that really have made it
esoterics.
so that you're okay in
Certainly
high-priced
2,000
earnings,
years back,
price to sales stories. On Monday, I hope JPal's busy because we're going to hear from Tyson Foods, the meat company that's at the epicenter of our current food shortage. Now, I don't expect to find out why my wife couldn't get bacon on her jet butter
Every
bacon
one of
cheeseburger
these
last week. But I do
probably
expect to
pegged
hear
off
about
on the
herds
loop,
and
right?
how much they cost to maintain versus
Something in
scale.
there for what
Next,
you
are
what
people
you
still
and I,
dealing with
and
the fervor
loosely
that we
grass
saw early in
being
the
green,
pandemic?
sky
We talk about
being
this
blue,
every minute of the day.
this flower
with
being this
AT&T.
type of
Well, we'll find
flower,
out when Take-Two
the
Interactive
yieldage,
reports
I don't know,
because Strauss
cannabis growth.
is the straightest of straight shooters, and if it's
In the
to me, it's weird,
sector,
he's just gonna
it
say it.
should be,
We'll also
right?
find out
Back
about
to
how
gravity.
Shopkeep's going
You
along
should be
tomorrow.
classed
This is a
something
really
different.
easy, good conference call
In a
from Simon
business
Property
that
Group.
cannabis
They
grow
do
is
it
still
the
a
best. They tell the
basically
truth.
a
7
federal
pages.
government, a twister
Tuesday's
theory.
the Curious Ad Mixture.
Cosmic
We have a bunch of
radiation
healthcare
background
stories
numbers
at
in
once.
there.
There's Centene, the health insurance specialty.
Well, think about the
one
LiDAR
that
and the
specializes in
stone mill.
government-sponsored programs. I
In
think it's
one of
taken on
my
target. I still think it can go
seed
higher.
stem
And
swag
Zimmer's, well,
grows.
yeah, we're going to figure out what Pfizer's going to do. It's going to be fantastic, but well, I don't think anyone's going to really buy it off the quarter.
But that's hard
Now,
to come
the
up
one I
with, and
care
it's
the most
not
about
really
on Tuesday is
realistic to
Chipotle,
just
because I
start
think
with
it
that
could do
dimensional
low
analysis.
double-digit same-store
Start
sales
with
versus
a
last year's
restaurant.
already
Let's start
excellent
with
numbers,
a
and that should cause the stock
something
to
in the
move down.
class
Raw
sector, the
costs are
dimension
always a problem in the
analysis
business,
that
though, but I think
GPT-3 is going
it's
to have
going
to
be
figure out.
respectable.
There,
I
people
worry about raw
have.
costs in
There's a
DuPont,
lot
too.
of
The
them.
great
Sometimes you
industrials
don't
have
need
had
to
a real
redo the
up and down
laws.
time in this
It's just
market,
about
and I
who's
fear this could be DuPont's
occupying
downtime,
what
which
is
why we've
way out of
finally
the
decided to ring the
bandwidth
register
here
for terrific profit
for
the
dropping
job
Glassjaw
plus.
Joe.
It was just too difficult to own a bunch of these
Because
industrials.
it's always
Walk
the
around with-
standard.
Oh, man,
That is
we
the
never seem to really get a
post-Mason
handle on it right now.
robot.
How could we have a handle on a business when the people running the companies may not have it themselves?
Doesn't matter who's in
And
there.
then there's Peloton, the stock that everyone has given up on except the users. We need the air clear. We need to know
225
what they
terminal
said,
position.
why they didn't raise any money, and then I said they didn't need any to raise money, and then they raised money, which is why
In the
the
end of
stock
it, if you
collapsed.
don't go
And
check
now, on
every
top
single
all
one
that,
of
the Wall Street
these
Journal's
on the
reporting
game plan for
after
the week,
bell
you're
that
probably
Amazon
out. But
has
he's not
approached the
giving you
company
that.
about a
Remember,
potential
this is
deal.
about
I doubt they
not
made
the
that story
MIT's
up.
first
Will they
class.
face the music
We're talking
bite
about Trig 2017
Okay, I thought
out
of it.
here.
I
and what this
Wednesday
is,
could
tossing you a
lead us some
math
fireworks.
problem.
Okay, first, I expect a very good quarter
Is
from
it?
CVS.
Is he testing you
COVID
right
testing,
now?
what happens
Maybe you
next,
should play it
and then
that way
monetize
and do
the
that.
vaccination
There's
seekers.
up,
Then
down,
take it to
up,
the next level,
downs,
maybe
inside
110,
here, inside
120.
out, and backwards.
Also in the morning,
And
here's
it may
how about
correlate
that
to
stuff. Stock came in today for
over
what I regard as no good
an
reason. I get buyer
underprice
ahead
base
of the quarter.
tone.
Then at the
And
close,
it certainly
most
would, the wave
controversial story
function.
of the weekend, that is
About
this.
what X is and
Travel
this one,
Trust
this
owns
one,
it.
what's the
And you can hear
homogenized
my
state? What did you
comments
see
about
by looking
from this,
outside those
Afternoons
ranges?
Investing Club
Well, I
meeting.
didn't see it, Jimmy.
I
Yeah, well,
think
1,
Disney
2,
isn't
3,
getting
4,
enough
5,
credit for
6,
its
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
intellectual property.
18
This isn't Netflix.
of a review
It
that you
isn't
do. What does it sound like
Facebook.
computer?
It's a
Did you look
once-in-a-kind
at it,
growth vehicle.
Copenhagen?
It is not stagnant.
You didn't
It
look
is
at it,
not
Copenhagen.
dead. And that's why I'd like to build a bigger position ahead of the quarter for my trust. We have had another Wednesday that's been very good for us. Mattel. Yeah, I think there could be a whole new slate of toys and entertainment from CEO Ynon Kreiz, who's been the turnaround whiz. Have you seen that stock? I said this morning that Coca-Cola should have a good quarter, and we find out next Thursday. I want to know about the joint efforts with
Every
Molson
one
Coors
of
to make
them
the hard to stock
is
Topo
basically
Chico
Apple's
hard
Heaven's
seltzer.
Gate
I
over
think this
there on
is
Olive
the next
Garden.
big spike. Next
You
what?
know, it's a ring of college and students, how that cyclotron gets sending them out
Is the next Google? How about Pinterest?
isn't just how
I think
far
we'll
it
find
can
out that
go,
remains
but the
same
spin
old
that they
party
have
Twitter,
when they
where,
get
of course,
there.
A company that has nothing we truly want to pay up for. Isn't that the problem? The stock comes down enough to de-risk a disaster, but that's certainly not a
heavy
reason
names.
to buy it. If you paid to have someone
Well,
take
this
out
is
all
just
the
one
terrible
that's so
stuff,
heavy. I don't
well, that
have
would
it,
be
but
good,
you could
no
get
one-
one. It was a
they're
big
not gonna do that
Christmas
for you.
deal.
Want a high
It
multiple
makes
stock
sense,
that used
but
to be a fantastic momentum play? Hey, I got an
you
important
got
test case
you got
Thursday.
options. Not many, but
We
you
got
got
two
options.
First, Cloudflare reports. Cloudflare, remember that? That thing never
So,
took a break.
Subway
It's all
standard
about
model,
streaming from
right?
the cybersecurity
If
angle.
you
When it
go
rated north
and
of
give
$200
my
in the fall,
Subway
it was one of the most
person shit,
expensive stocks in the
you're
entire
big like
market.
I might kill
And then
you.
it led on the way down when these stocks fell
Well,
out
then
of
what
favor.
would
I
the
do
math
expect
monster
great
tell
numbers,
me?
but I don't
What is he going to
expect
whisper in my
anyone to
ear
care.
about you?
Zendesk
Out there
also
on the mill
reports
floor
Thursday
about
this is
friction
an
and heat and
also-ran
thermodynamics.
provider
What do you
of
think it's going to
cloud-based
tell me?
customer relationship management software, which peaked almost exactly a year ago. There wasn't much to be interested in here until they decided to acquire Momentive, the company formerly known as SurveyMonkey, in
You'll
October.
pause?
Then an activist
Click.
investor, Jana Partners, got involved and urged them
I
no to the deal.
go
Jana's
pause.
very powerful. We're going to
Click.
look for an update on that
And there
situation
goes your
when they
neck,
report.
snapping
They were
little
all
bunny
over us
neck.
to tell us it was a great deal. Okay, Friday we get the results from Under Armour, and there's lots of
Hi,
good
new
buzz about
friend.
this one. So much so that I think it's actually terrific speculation going into the quarter. We keep hearing about a potential turnaround. Maybe this time it's going to
What do you
happen.
do? That's their job. They're
And then we
the
have
video
some
where
really
brothers just
intriguing
in the bunny
cyclicals. Both
processing
have
line,
been on
little
the show a
white blind,
couple
but
times.
hi, new friend, click.
I want to spend a
Send
second.
another one. I'm
Cleveland
making
Cliffs is a good
sociopaths
stock.
over there,
You
not
know
God parters.
that I've liked and praised both of them. I think that Goodyear will positively
Yes, you
dazzle. And many are looking for a used shortfall from Cleveland Cliffs.
You wait, you
iron
find the
ore
key.
company
That's
that
what you do.
became
You
a
find
major
the key,
steel
and you
producer.
turn in one of
Like
those type
Nucor, the
Cs.
fantastic steelmaker we own for the trust. I'm betting actually the Cleveland Cliffs will do a decent number. Vertically integrated, can make a heck of a
give you
lot
a
more
pill.
money than they used to. Cleaned up balance sheet, good management. Bottom line. This week we saw the true colors of what is a treacherous market. Specifically, we learned it has a bipolar disorder. Now, I think that the best text for this
Well, what do we
market
know about
isn't really
bipolar?
financial. It's K.
What's the
Redfield
math telling me?
Jameson's An
What's the math
Unquiet
telling me?
Mind,
How to
and
fix
if you don't believe me,
bipolar.
there's
It's-
no level it won't be taken up to. But
You
if it's hated,
need-
there are no depths.
You know, these people aren't going to be,
Either way,
they'll
boy,
be
that
12
is
steps away
Unquiet
from the
Mind
sewage
to a
treatment
T.
plant that
It's
they'll
like
put
the
money
convenience
into, and
store.
I'll snatch them up
Kevin
by
in
the
Missouri.
year if I find
Kevin.
shit laying all over the place about. I don't
Hey,
expect you to
first-time
do this,
caller,
Jim.
so thanks for taking my call. Yeah.
I expect you to have the player.
So my question's around Abbott Laboratories. Back in March of 2021, you remember they announced that $255 million contract with the Binax Now Rapid COVID test. So in December, when I heard about all the shortages and the demand was higher than ever, I ended up buying close to 300 shares at $140 a share.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's dropped $11 just today. So not just today, but
No,
up
not
to
today.
$11.
PhD, man.
Well,
This
I'll
is
tell you,
ICU
I
triage
said
center,
some
man.
very positive things about
should
it
be.
today. The
I
investment
think when you
group,
do
said
with-
that they
they're
did a
good.
lot
You
of
get
money.
these
They had a lot of money from Binax
sociopaths,
now,
but they got psychopathy.
they are going
I mean,
to
not a
get no
sociopath. I'm
credit
talking about
for
the
it.
bunny
So
that
they
just
have
has
to
a therapist
basically
that's
do
got too
something
much
with that
fucking money and
deploy it somehow,
doesn't really need a
and
therapist,
then
but takes
it'll
up
be fine. In
time
the
on a
meantime,
therapist,
the
which
Libra,
creates
the
a drag
diabetes,
in the GPT-3
the
sets
glucose
about the
monitor
neural
is
net
selling very well,
programming
and that's the
processor.
reason to own it. Let's go to
server
Kurt in Virginia.
time
Kurt.
before everybody and their
Hey, Jim,
brother
how you
has to have a
doing?
private serving tower
And
limit
first-time
at the
caller,
mining
Jim, I love your
equipment that
enthusiasm.
you
I'm
need, not
retired, but I
just
used
for
to shove a
mining
lot of
coin.
office products in my day, and I can
This
relate
thing,
to
when
it.
you have
And
the
I like taking
ability,
schnitzels
the
to take care of
frame
my
rate
RMDs
of all
in my
that,
401k.
all
But kicking the tires, Jim,
all
I was
that,
out looking for a
not only
PC,
does it give you the
lots
equipment,
of
but
Best
also
Buy,
gives
been
you
a
an
while.
index
Pretty impressive store.
666,
Didn't
the
end up buying a
equipment,
PC
how
with, the
the
lady you like,
majority
the
of the
Ryzen 5
bandwidth of
AMD
people use it.
processor.
Or,
Yeah, that subscription
at a
service, double
finer
check.
rate, the
Shave your
zenith
thoughts.
points,
Is there enough
or
I want to
because you'll
decide?
have a
Right.
fourth
I
dimensional,
think
right?
that-
It's not
that,
just going to be a metrics
I
of hundredth
think
prize
Corey
of money.
Barry's totally under. I'm gonna
It's
get her on the show.
the same
Why?
dimensional
3%
analysis,
yield.
arbitrary
They're gonna have a
of
good
0
quarter.
1 stuff goes
There are a
into
lot of
that.
people who feel
But you
that
need to
maybe
fix
we
it.
are-
And
we
so
bought
remember,
all the
gravity,
equipment we need
field
to be able
theory,
to stay
you
home
can
and do
push
things.
field
You know
theory
that's
bells
not
of
the
quality,
case.
Gresham's
Kurt,
law,
I've got to tell you, I
and it
think
will
under
break,
100, I find
but
it
that doesn't make it
quizzical
better
price
than it.
because the stock
And
used
it's
to be at
just a
140,
notation
and
about
it's
it, because
very
you'll need to
good,
do it again,
decent
but
balance
you'll have
sheet,
to
great supply
understand.
chain. I'm with you.
Doesn't matter who
I
does
think
it.
that-
We are
I think
all
that
under wave function.
BBY is a winner. All right.
Time
This week we
dilation
learned a
and
lot
stuff.
about the true colors of this trend.
Predicted by Heisenberg.
If a
It
stock
can get
is low,
close.
there's no
I'll
level
leave
we
0,
won't
I'll
take
leave
it.
1.
Oh, but if it's hated,
But if
there's no
you forget
depths,
to
it
metric
won't
that over the
go.
long haul,
It's
the
an unquiet
diminishing return of the
market.
monopolists just wanted to do one thing and forgot that silver mine moved out.
Your portfolio for success. I'm talking to the CEO. Then this has been by far
The numbers will
hardest
work like a
earnings
mountain. The
season
mountain's
in
still going to
recent
be
memory.
there, but
So what can we learn for it? Because there's a twist that's dragging things down. And could a company supporting laboratories across the world be what their portfolio needs in this market? I'm talking to the CEO of Waters. So stay with
well, it's like
Kramer.
a boss talking to a Sawyer or a Sawyer
Don't
trying to
miss a
explain it to the
second
boss.
of Mad Money. Follow @Jim